things you can look at when you're taking your pictures. Same thing. I had to run like mad to get this picture. Why? Because I'm with a group of like 20 people. And the monk's showing us his monastery. Well, I don't want 5 tourists in here. So you gotta maneuver sometimes, be aggressive, be willing to get in the front of the line. I like the repetitiveness of the arches. He's looking into the area, helps add to the picture. Lots of color in the Caribbeans, and I'm always looking for a picture within a picture. Don't just get the building. Get a doorway, get a window, look for other things to take a picture of. There's more interest in this image than the whole building, I can assure you. I've got leading lines, I've got repetition of the steps, I've got color of the door. Same thing here. A picture within a picture. What's this from? Anybody know? Sugar factory in Maui. And that thing is just pumping out steam like on. Well, I didn't have a lot of time to spend at the sugar factory, but you know, with a telephoto lens, I thought that was kind of different. I mean, like, that's kind of cool. What is it? Well, and it's telling a little story. You don't know what the story is, but there's something of interest. What's going on here? Well, it's a smokestack of the sugar factory. Great little place down in Cabo. I love this little place. I need to go back just to take more pictures of this place. But the buildings are neat, but have all kinds of little individual places. Same thing. This is one of the most famous places in the world, Santorini. God, the blue domes everywhere and the white buildings, it's great. Everybody's seen those. You seen this one? No? Because I'm looking for a picture within a picture. And I kind of like it, frankly. And got a little color, got some shade, it's very plain, very simple. I think someone probably did this for photographers. I mean, why else would you have one chair sitting at a little table? I don't know. I thank the guy. If he was there, I would have given him a hug. Picture within a picture. It's the same place as the other one a minute ago. I'm in Greece, and I'm walking around, and there's a picture within a picture. And I've got the trees and the planter, there's a lot of character. I've got leading lines. I've got some color. This is the kind of thing I love taking this kind of picture. Same thing here, back down to Cabo. This is outside the lobby of a hotel when you drive up. I drove up this place because I'm out looking for pictures. Holy cow, I ended up going back like 3 different times. I loved it. I mean, this same place. And I came back, I'm on vacation. I wake up before sunrise. This is, and once again, the color is a little distorted here. This is even better with regular lighting. But this is right after the sun's come up, so it's nice, warm lighting, and it's yellow to boot. I love that kind of stuff. Okay, action shots. Rather than the guy standing with a surfboard, let's get some action going. And if he's highlighted, got nice wave action behind him. I've got more space in front of the surfer than behind. I've got space around him, so it's centered on him. I've got a high ISO on this. Although it's a nice sunny day, but it's still a higher ISO. I have a lower f-stop setting. I don't need a 22. I'm not getting a whole lot of things in focus, so I may have a f-stop of 5, 6. It wouldn't make any difference, or an 8. It doesn't make any difference. And then I have more lighting, so it's a faster shot to get stop action. So you're sitting in a little bull ring. I want to get this shot. Now, most people they got a picture of the bull coming out, and someone said, I think I'm probably the only guy that took pictures of the action, and I'm sure the only guy that got it, because I know how to work my camera. My ISO was 1250 on this, so up my ISO on a sunny day, so I could stop action, so it's not a blurry mess. And this tells a neat story. More surfing. Love it when they do their boogie board down on the beach. Ducks flying, you gotta be faster, you gotta have a higher ISO. Anywhere from 800 to 1,000 ISO. Get that stop speed. This is Secret Beach on Maui, one of my favorite little beaches. No wedding that day. They'll have anywhere between 2 and 10 weddings a day in this little beach, a little private place. Stop action, in this case on the waves, I did not want it to flow, I wanted stop action. I'm out fishing with salmon. We got a limit of salmon, plus we let a bunch go. On the way back, and we see something weird in the back by shore. What is that? And it's something weird. And all we could see was the white fin. And we get closer, holy cow, humpback jumping. So I have my camera. I don't care if I'm out 12 miles in the ocean, I got my camera, because you never know. and this is the result. So I got my camera with me, make my brother drive the boat, and you can't appreciate how choppy this water is. I mean, this boat's going like this, I don't care. I gotta brace as best I can, I'm doing like this, and I'm trying to go with it in high action, move my ISO up again to get stop action, so that I can get it without being a blurry shot. More surface, I love it. Okay, it looks better when he's running across the water if he's just sitting there. I've got a little action going. So in the spring when these things are doing their mating rituals and stuff, sit there with your camera and wait for them. And they're amazing all the funny things they'll do for you. Okay, I'm back in Maui. This is a wino sitting at a picnic table talking to his friend, and I thought it was pretty cool. Okay, it's pretty obvious I got a camera and I'm in front of him and I want his picture, so what do you do? Well, for me, it's a really simple. Number one, I can talk to anybody, but I don't want to get kicked, I don't want to get hit, I don't want a beer bottle thrown at me. So the technique I use, and if you go places like Europe or Asia, whatever it is, if you have that little lens I talked about, you can zoom that out and they don't know you're doing it. So you can get some pictures and they don't realize it. Number two, if you're taking a picture, let's say there's a guy, oh God, like, that guy is so cool, I want to get his picture. So I got my camera up and I'm moving along, click. Now what you normally do is then you put it down. No, he knows you took your picture when you do that. So you go around and you take the picture and you keep going and you do this. He doesn't know you took a picture. So he's not mad at me, so he's not cursing at me. But the thing I do most of the time is, usually there's something about the people that they will appreciate you noticing. Okay? God, those are fantastic earrings. That's Christmas. Because obviously it's Christmas time, right? I love them. I love what you've done. Those are great. Hey, can I take your picture? He's happy now. He's not doing it because he doesn't have teeth and he looks ugly. He's doing it because I think he's cool, which I do. Okay, so if you'll do that with people, it works so often. God, what a great hat. I love your hat. Okay, it doesn't have it. Love your beard. That mustache is so cool. Can I get your picture? Oh, well, sure. If you like it that much. Yeah, okay. But if you just try to take it, yeah, you're crazy American. You don't want that. You don't need that. And now he did ask for a bottle of beer. I don't have any beer. I says, I'll bring you back one. And the next day I came back by, and what about if I drank the beer? But anyway, I tried. Okay, I have fun looking for new things to take pictures. I am so tired of taking the same old things. I'm always looking for things. 2 weeks ago, I read in the paper that they were having a mud run over in Olympia. Hey, that sounds like fun. So I go over there, drive over there, and what a sloth. In a farmer's field, they got a 5K run, and they're doing it to raise money. And so what I did is I walked in, get near the finish line. They had mud. Yeah, this is almost pure mud. That one was more like muddy water. So I went back and forth between the two. For me, I just love taking pictures. Okay, number one. Number two, if you're in a situation like this, you have no idea what the outcome is going to be. And just because you think you got a good one doesn't mean you're going to get it. And so, in 2 hours, I took over 1,000 pictures. Because the problem is, as they're running along, there's hundreds of people. And it doesn't look like they're all by themselves, but I happen to have one time when there's nobody there. And so there's hundreds of people at different times. And their arms are in front of their faces, and they're moving, and their bodies, and they're falling, and I don't know what I'm going to get. So I must shoot like I'm having a ball. And I go home, and I deleted 700 that fast. Because there's nothing there. Who cares? If you have a memory card, once you bought it, it's free. So you can take as many pictures as you want, just delete them. And by the way, if you go on a trip, especially if you're someplace where it might be hard to get memory cards and batteries, you always take extra. It is so cheap to buy memory cards. Go to Costco, you can buy a 32 memory card for 25 bucks. It's so cheap. Get a couple extra, get a couple batteries. Oh, and it's in the handout there. But if you're going someplace where they have different electrical currents, make sure you have an adapter for your charger. Do not think you can just plug in your charger to the outlet. It is not going to happen. Now, if you're on a ship, that may be different. You usually still have to have adapters. So check that out before you go. If you're ready to go, and my camera's always ready to go, you get some fun stuff. And once again, because I was able to get the whole picture, you know what's going on. She's roller skating down the sidewalk. If I had cropped that, what's that for? I mean, doesn't tell a story. This tells a story. Same thing. Guy's on the beach. He's looking out at the sunset. I don't know what it is. So I make sure my subject's in focus and my background's out of focus. So I have an f-stop like 5/6. You don't need the whole soldier. It doesn't tell. This tells as much a story as a whole soldier. So get in tight on them. Couldn't do anything about the cars. They're everywhere. Some place in the Caribbean, I don't remember what it was, but cute little girls, lots of colors, umbrellas, rainy day. Who cares? Rainy day, pictures still turn out great. In fact, sometimes better. This is up at the Omac Stampede, and the Indians are doing their dance. Little action, black background, works great. I love black background for people and flowers. You want the flower in focus and the background out of focus. This is a block from my house. Love this little place. Every year I stop and take pictures of it. Wisteria everywhere. Trying to put the gate in the power spot where, you know, the rule of thirds and the fence along the rule of thirds and the flowers filling in the rest. Black background really is dynamic. If you can't get a black background, the sky is nothing better because there's nothing distracting. If I was so I got low on this. I'm on my knees shooting up. If I was up high, shooting down, and there's ground behind it or bushes behind it, you wouldn't have the same image. So try to isolate your subject from the background. Okay, so how do you get black background? The simplest way is you get shadow behind it. So you've got 2 feet, just move over a little bit so that the flower now has shadow behind it. Now take a shot. The other thing you do, and usually when I go to white, I'll take a piece of black fleece. Used to use black velvet, but it's too expensive. I use fleece, which does the same thing. It's got a rough texture to it, very soft, and you put that, have your wife, or you put on, just lay it on the bushes behind your subject, and you got a black background for it. You do not want the sun shining on the fleece, however, the cloth. You want to turn it so it's, let's say if the sun's this way, I wouldn't have my backdrop this way so the sun's on it. I want to turn it so it's shadowed, because otherwise the sun will show every wrinkle on the cloth and so forth. So if it's shadows, then you get a nice even black background. Colors will work behind your subject, and particularly the reason I like this is because you've got a color that complements the fern, but it's out of focus, so it's not distracting. You don't want distracting elements to your subject. A spray bottle works wonders on a lot of flowers. My tip is do not use it on dahlias. I don't like my dahlias wet. I love my roses wet. This happens to be my yard. Once again, now actually, in this lighting, now normally, like on my computer, you can't see these marks. Those are the wrinkles from the black velvet. Okay, and in my print that doesn't show. It's the lighting here that shows it. If you have an image that has a lot of contrast, consider converting to black and white. I love black and white. It works so well in so many images. And same thing here. I'm in a train station in London getting ready to go under the Channel. There's no color. It's not, but what I've got is a lot of designs. So the minute I get home, I convert this to a black and white. I love this. Leading lines. I've got all the architecture. I've got, I think it's pretty cool, and it tells a story. Now, in this case, I left the people in. And by the way, that one, you notice there's no people. That took a while. I'm waiting. Train station. We're getting ready to go to France. I mean, there's a lot of people in London. I'm waiting, I'm watching, and finally they're gone. Take my picture. You got to be patient. Okay, this one, I want the people in here because it tells a story. Who knows where this is? Kayla, you can't tell because I told you.
You're no fun at all.
It is a Louvre. Everybody knows on the outside of the Louvre, you've got that pyramid of glass. Did you know that there's a pyramid underneath it? This is underneath downstairs in the Louvre. And once again, there's no color in there. It's all black and white shadows. So